What's up, guys? How's it going? Mr. Arnold coming right back at you, and thank you for tuning in for another episode of History Comes Alive. Now, for today's episode, we have a great topic for you. We are going to be looking at ancient Greece and Athens and Sparta and the city-states that make up ancient Greece. We're going to separate into three distinct segments. First, we're going to focus on geography. Second, we're going to look at Athens and Greece and the events that shaped their histories. And last but not least, we're going to go with ODFP. ODFP, Old Dead Famous People. So make sure you guys are paying close attention. A lot of great information about to come up. Alright guys, for the second segment, we're going to be focusing on Greece and its geography, okay? Greece and its geography. And there's going to be four distinct things I want you guys to keep in mind. The first thing is this, that Greece is what you call a peninsula, alright? A big body of land that juts out and which is covered by three distinct areas of water. Now, when we talk about Greece, right, those three big bodies of water that we're going to look at are going to be the Aegean Sea, which is to the east, the Ionian Sea, which is to the west, and then below it, which could be the Sea of Crete, all right, or the Mediterranean Sea. And guys, that's going to be big because it's going to help with trade, cultural diffusion, which is going to take place in Greece, right? A lot of different things that are going to happen because it's basically a peninsula that jumps out into a big body of water. Now, a couple things that you guys got to keep in mind. The second thing is this, that because Greece is a peninsula, all right, it's going to actually lead to disunification, all right? There's going to be lots of different city-states, all right, that pop up all throughout this area, okay? And it's going to be very, very hard for a big group of people to basically unify everything. It's going to be very, very hard, all right? And that's going to be because of two different things. The first thing is this, that it's a very mountainous region, okay? Very, very mountainous. So it's going to be very hard for people to interact when they're isolated, all right, for specific periods of time, all right? They're not going to be able to get past this mountain. In addition to that, there's also going to be lots of islands that are going to make up ancient Greece, all right? And the people that are going to live on those islands are going to have a very, very hard time interacting with other human beings. All right, so we got that second part out of the way. Let's focus on this island to the south, the Island of Crete. Guys, the Island of Crete is very, very important because, well, that's where civilization first got started in Greece. It's considered to be the cradle of civilization. Yes, that's right. I know you hear it all the time, but the cradle of civilization in Greece, all right? This is where the Minoans, the earliest Greek people, first got started, okay? So that's our number three. Our fourth and final key geographic feature to keep in mind is this, that Greece is basically the gateway to Europe, right? The Persians, who are eventually going to fight with Greeks, are going to see it as kind of the opening to the rest of Europe, okay? And if they can defeat the Greeks, then they can get to the rest of Europe and influence not only European culture and civilization, but also pretty much what you can look back on is the impact of life overall, all right? So, we just got done with geography. Make sure you guys are paying a close attention. We're going to get into Athens and Sparta coming up next. Alright guys, when we talk about Athens and Sparta, alright, we're going to do so in a comparing and contrasting way. And what we're going to start off by doing is we're actually going to contrast them, alright, so that helps you guys understand Athens and Sparta and later understand how they are similar. The first thing that we are going to look at when we talk about Athens is the differences, alright. Athens, it's a very cultured area, all right? There's a lot of people living there, and they're very open to new ideas, okay? This is where we're going to start to see theater up here. This is where we're going to start to see arts. This is where we're going to start to see great architecture, such as the Parthenon. Especially with theater, you might see certain dramas, such as comedies and dramas that pop up throughout its time period. just keep in mind that Greece is going to be very, very open. Sparta, on the other hand, is going to be a very isolated and closed-in society. That's where we're going to see our first difference. They like keeping things to themselves, okay? And they don't really accept other people in, all right? Sparta is going to be a very isolated and closed-in society. Our second difference between Athens and Sparta, okay, is their military, all right? Athens, which is centered right in the Attica region of Greece, is going to be centered right on the ocean. So they're going to have a very, very strong navy, which will lead them to wars, in which we will look at later. Second thing, with Athens, that is going to be apparent and different than Sparta, is their government. They have created direct democracy, all right? Pericles, which was an elder statesman, he was the one that really pushed for direct democracy, in which people, all right, average citizens, in this case in Athens, land-owning males, would basically vote on specific things such as referendums or policies or laws, all right? This is the first time in humankind's history that we have ever seen this. This is huge news, guys, all right? And Athens is the people that we can credit that for. Now, on the flip side, what's going on in Sparta is this. We talked about how maybe Athens has a strong navy. The Spartans have a very strong army, which we obviously have seen in the movie 300, all right? This is Sparta, all right? As well as the fact that maybe when you look at the Battle of Thermopylae, as well as the Peloponnesian Wars and the Persian Wars, it kind of sticks out, all right? And then their government, this is going to be our last contrasting point here, is that they are noted for their oligarchy, okay, which is a small group of individuals that are in charge of a big government, an oligarchy. In this case with the Spartans, they usually have 2 hereditary kings and then a council of elders that meet together to decide, all right, certain policies of the Spartan society. All right, let's move now into the similarities. Now, there's a couple that kind of stick out. There's not a lot, but there's a couple that kind of stick out. The first thing is they're both Greek people, all right? They're both Greek. Just like how maybe a New Yorker and a Californian are different in a lot of ways, at the end of the day, they're still American, okay? They're still Greek, all right? Second thing to get into is that they unified at a specific point in time to defeat the Persians, right? This is where we're going to talk about the Persian War, all right? The Persians are a big, big group of people, all right? The world's largest empire, all right, that humankind has ever seen, all right? They're going to be led by Darius and later Xerxes. And what's going to happen is they want to take over more land. They want to get to Europa, and the people that are in the way are the Greeks, okay? So they start to funnel in from, we'll say, the northeast, all right? And they're coming down to Greece, trying to take over. So, what is a region with a bunch of different city-states going to do? They're going to have to unify. Whether Athens and Sparta like it or not, they're going to have to unify. And this is where we're going to start to see the Battle of Thermopylae, which 300 is loosely based off of, in which 300 Spartan warriors were able to slaughter 10,000 Persians, okay? And basically deflate the morale of Xerxes. In addition to this, this is also where we're going to start to see the Battle of Marathon, in which the Athenians were able to basically defeat the Persians without the help of the Spartans. And last but not least, at the Battle of Salamis, where the Athenian navy was able to defeat the Persian fleet, which was much bigger. However, they had bigger ships that were harder to maneuver. With that being said, guys, this is where we start to see similarities within Athens and Sparta. Again, remember, Athens, very open, very cultured lifestyle, whereas in Sparta, it's a very militant, very tough and rumble, isolated society. That's where we're going to see some differences. So hopefully that helped you guys understand Athens and Sparta a little bit more, okay? Remember, Athens is a little bit more cultured, Sparta a little bit more isolated, all right? And now we're going to get into the old, dead, famous people. We're almost there, guys. Keep watching. A lot of great stuff yet to come. Alright guys, Mr. Arnold coming back for this third and final segment, and we are going to be looking at ODFP. ODFP, old, dead, famous people, okay? And there's a lot of old, dead, famous people that make up ancient Greece, so make sure you guys are paying attention. A lot of great stuff yet to come. Now, when we talk about ancient Greece, let's start with the very earliest ODFP. Alright, we're going to look at the 3 groups that make up ancient Greece. We're going to talk about the Minoans, alright, which were the first civilization, the first people that lived in Greece, and they centered in Crete, okay? Keep that in mind. Next, we're going to talk about the Mycenaeans, which were basically mainland Greeks, and this is where we start to see Mycenaeans mentioned in the Trojan War. All right, they're the ones that fought in the Trojan War against Troy. Okay, and then last but not least, our earliest Greeks. We're going to focus on Indo-Europeans that migrated from the north. Okay, and later led an invasion. Can you name them? I'll give you 2 seconds. 1, 2, the Dorians, the Dorian invasion, okay? So those are the 3 of the earliest groups of people that are going to make up ancient Greece, all right? Now, we're going to transition now into Homer, who was an epic poem. He was noted for writing epic poems of the Iliad and the Odyssey, which were stories in which there was a certain conflict going on. Especially in the Iliad, we have the Trojan War. The Odyssey, we have Odysseus and the journey he embarks on his way home. Okay, don't forget Homer, right? Because he's an important figure in ancient Greek literature. Moving along, when we talk about the Persian War, which we had just done, let's talk about some of the certain individuals that stick out. The first guy that better stick out to you is the guy that led this conquest, who wanted Greece in the first place. All right, Xerxes. He's the son of Darius, and he's not Greek. He's actually Persian, guys. And Xerxes, think of him as kind of a great failure. All right, he tried taking over Greece 3 times and failed 3 distinct times. He never fulfilled his father's quest. All right, Xerxes, a Persian who never fulfilled his father's quest. On the other hand, one of the most famous Spartan kings and warriors is Leonidas, okay? Leonidas is an individual who fought at the Battle of Thermopylae and later died, but did so in an admirable way that helped keep Greece independent from the Persians, okay? Now let's transition to the other war that was fought, we'll say 60 years later, all right, around 431 to 404 BCE, the Peloponnesian War, all right? Pericles, he's an Athenian who actually helps develop a direct democracy. He's an elder statesman that helps create direct democracy, guys. And this is going to be key, okay? This is going to be key because it's going to actually lead to one of 2 things. Obviously, democracy, its impact on humankind is still apparent to this day. However, Pericles also built ancient Athens into an empire that it had never seen before, but it was also a bugaboo, all right? It was also bad because it reached out and was grabbing colonies and imperializing colonies that did not want to be a part of Athens, and it later led to the Peloponnesian War, which was fought by allies of Athens with the Delian League, as well as allies of Sparta with the Peloponnesian League, and it resulted in Sparta eventually defeating the Athenians, all right? By surrounding their walls and eventually leading them to plague, because the people could not leave, all right, and they had to stay inside the wall, and they eventually died because of being in contact for so long, being so close to each other, all right. That's the Peloponnesian War. I know we kind of got off track there, so let's jump back on, okay. Last but not least, we're going to focus on 3 philosophers in ancient Greece. I know you guys might have some background information on them to begin with. We're going to focus on Socrates, all right? And Socrates, he's the original, all right? He's one of the sophists, which are people that usually generally question a lot of different things going on in the world today, especially in ancient Greece, all right? And what he's going to be noted for is his Socratic method, which was a way to question his students, all right, and to establish reason from their answers, all right? His legacy is going to live on through one of his students, Plato, who creates the Academy, as well as writes the book, The Republic. And over time, again, he's one of the guys that believes through reason, all right, and that you could build your life, all right, through structure and organization. And he tried explaining that by organizing society. He thought that you could organize society. And last but not least, we're going to focus on Aristotle today, guys. And Aristotle's, again, another one of the students, all right? It goes Socrates, then it goes Plato, and then it goes Aristotle. He's going to be one of those students of Plato, all right? And he's going to be noted for a lot of different things: politics, literature, ethics, logic, as well as even biology. And the list goes on, etc., and etc., okay? And these 3 gents are ultimately going to shape ancient Greece and improve humankind overall in ancient Greece through their legacies. Now, with that being said, I know I went through a lot of stuff. If there's anything else you guys would like me to go through, make sure to leave a comment or like, all right, and let me know, all right? Big idea with ancient Greece is that it was a collection of different city-states, all right, called polis, P-O-L-I-S, all right? And they were never unified. But a lot of great cultural achievements in humankind's history resulted from this time period. Thank you again for watching. I really appreciate it. You guys have a great day, and I'll talk to you guys later. Take care.